Welcome back, Knights, to my new podcast called Catching Up on the School Tea with Lee. Catching Up on the School Tea with Lee. And no, this podcast is not about being messy, but it is about catching up on the things that are going on around the school. Before I introduce our special guest, let me just give, a brief summary just in case if this is your first time watching my podcast in general. I am Leah Jamari. I am Student Council President. I am a leader at Strawberry Mansion, and I'm Camp Never Cheerleading team. So if you need me, just give a little holla. So without further ado, let's give a lap roll for... Hi!
Hi everyone.
How are you?
I'm good.
So who are you? So for the people,
I'm AP Roberts, the new assistant principal at Mansion High School.
Okay, it's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. Your job around Strawberry Mansion,
Okay. First, I'll just say that I've been a teacher with the school district for 22 years. This is year 23. I'm transitioning to this role at Strawberry Mansion High School, and I'm here to assist the principal, support the students, and support the staff.
If you could pick one movie to describe you, what would it be?
I would say The Devil Wears Prada, and I am definitely the Miranda.
I've never watched that movie, so I don't know. Could you go give a little detail?
You have to
No,
watch
I never watched it.
The Devil Wears Prada. It's a classic. Okay. It is about a woman who's trying to be a journalist. She moves to New York with her boyfriend, and we know that New York is fast-paced, and if you're not ready for the grind, you're not going to make it. She's been putting her applications out to be a journalist and having no success. She winds up at a interview for Runway, a really big magazine. It's supposed to be like Vogue. If you know anything about Vogue, it's basically that magazine. And she runs into Miranda Priestley, who is the editor-in-chief, and she's very cold. I'm not cold though. She's very cold and stern, but well put together, and direct and to the point.
Oh, okay.
And we see her survive throughout the movie. And I'm not going to spoil it because that's now your assignment to watch.
So how does she relate to you?
Because I am one that I watch the scene, and I feel like she watches everything. She knows everything that's going on. She knows her people, and she knows how to get things done. It's not always neat and clean, but she gets the job done.
I understand. I know you a little better. We know her a little better, right? What are your goals here at Strawberry Mansion?
To remove the negative reputation. I just want people to see this as a place that their kids can come and be safe and nurtured and learn. So my goal is to, one, brand us as the place to send your kids in North Philly for academic focused high school career. My goal is to grow the school so that we don't have to worry about, anything with the district as far as their impending closings. I want students to have a real high school experience where they feel fulfilled and they can look back on that time, much like I had in high school at Simon Gratz, and think about it in a fond way, because it was like the best time of my life, and I think all students should have that experience.
Right, perfect. Wait, did the tea drop? Did the tea just spill? Wait, I think that was tea for me, because I feel like that is the same thing that I want to do before I leave Strawberry Mansion. It's just kind of change the reputation and set that goal for students here at Strawberry Mansion that don't feel as though they're being heard a lot, or feel as though that they can express themselves or give their opinion. Where did you go to college?
After Simon Gratz, I went to Lincoln University, which I enjoyed that experience, but I was much like a lot of students at Strawberry Mansion. I was first generation college student, really didn't understand. My grades were fine, but I just didn't know how to make the transition. And I moved back to Philly and enrolled at Temple University. I still wasn't really acclimated to how to do things at a big school.
Right.
So I left school for a while and then decided, I have to go back to school because I didn't like wiping people's butts, literally. Graduated from Temple in 2003, and then I moved to Cabrini. I went to Temple again to get my principal certification, and I'm going back to Temple in July of next year to get my EDD. which is
Okay.
basically like a doctorate in education.
She's clocking it. She's clocking it. That is amazing. That is inspiring, honestly, to like, you know, you're a black female and like living in the United States, given the simple fact that like, you know, it may have been hard when you were like younger to receive a lot of benefits and different things like that. So could you go like into detail about like how that was for you as being, you know, a black female going to college?
I grew up in North Philadelphia. I have, I'm a parent, I'm a child of a drug addicted mother. My father was unfortunately murdered when I was a kid, so I grew up with my aunts. And education was not the focus. We were told like, you got to go to high school, but it wasn't anything beyond that. And when I lived in Alabama for a while with my grandparents, they were very big on college, and I sort of drunk the tea. And I was like, yes, I want different from what I'm experiencing now. So even when I got to high school, that was the focus. I just didn't know how it was going to play out. Like, I had no idea about the college process. I couldn't talk to anyone at home, but I met my people at school. So I met my English teacher, Miss Marsha Pincus. She is phenomenal. She's retired now. And I met my high school guidance counselor. His name was Fred Niebauer. And I lived in his office. And he saw something in me, and he nurtured it by saying, well, we're going to do this is how you do this. And he explained everything, but he didn't explain how to navigate college. A lot of times students go to college, they get in, they get there, but they have no idea how to advocate for themselves, how to speak up, the fact that you are now expected to do certain things that you haven't done in a high school. Like, you didn't make your schedule. You don't know how to go to the bursar, which is financial aid. You don't know that there's a tutoring center for everything. And some of us are shy. We feel like we've been doing everything for ourselves because we have all our lives. But this is not the time to be egotistic. This is time to have some humility and say, I'm struggling. There's resources. Let me. And as an African American student, you'll face some teachers who look at you as inferior, and why are you here, or how did you get here, and they're not willing, or they want you to sort of shrink down who you are and don't be that big personality. And I'm here to tell you, you can be your big personality within reason, right? How to sort of, we always say code switch. I don't really like code switching no more, but just how to be a little bit more polished, right? To say, I don't agree with you, here's why, and discuss it. Now, they don't have to agree with what you said, but you said your point in a way that they could hear you clearly. And I think that's some things that students throughout the district, but especially at Mansion, could probably benefit with just knowing how to speak for yourself, how to do it appropriately, and how to have conversations with adults that are productive.
Right. And that's amazing to start instilling that in, you know, high schoolers now, because like, I know when I was in ninth grade, like, it was pretty hard for me. I didn't know how to express myself. I expressed myself in the way that thought was best for me. Like, oh, if like I'm going through something, then I'm acting out, or like, you get what I'm saying. And then like, I got to know the teachers, and I'm just like, y'all are some amazing people.
Exactly.
Also, I had to understand that like, my teachers and the staffs have their own lives. Like, you know, it's hard for them as well navigating, and especially if you just start, like, you just switch to the school, becoming a teacher, or like, you know, the principal, or whatever the case may be. Like, you're still getting used to the environment just as much as me. So also like, understanding like, they're human too.
Yeah.
I shouldn't expect that they're going to do everything perfectly, and they shouldn't expect that from me.
Absolutely.
And like, that will help build healthy relationships when you don't have that expectation.
And that's something all throughout my career, I always try to treat people as human, right? And I used to tell students in the classroom, you can have a bad day. Everybody has a bad day, but every day can't be a bad day. And if it is, then we need to reach out and get the supports that you need. So you can come in and have a bad day, you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. Some days I tell my students, listen, we'll put some music on. Y'all gonna do this, y'all gonna leave me alone, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Because some days you just need a break.
Right.
But you gotta go to work.
Right.
You gotta go to school. But you don't gotta be mean to people.
We know you now. I feel like we're comfortable. Like, we know her. Like, she's our friend now. Are you a morning person, or are you a night person?
I can never answer that question. I would say more of a morning person, but that was how I was raised, to be up early. Yeah, I'm a morning person. Because at night I'm ready to lay down.
Yeah.
And I'm tired, and I'm a mom, so I'm just like,
Okay.
done. So yeah, morning.
Yeah, I feel like I have a constant routine now. And I'm like, I'm about to go to college and like I'm about to be like, an adult soon.
Yes.
Like I need to be able to get up on time and to like show up to work, show up for like different types of events and have that kind of routine and not be like, because my dad is he's a morning person. I just be looking at, I'm like, Dad, like how are you up at 6:00 in the morning and like, like it's hard, but I'm getting into that routine.
I think morning people are more productive.
I think that as well. Cause like, what are you really doing at night?
Nothing.
Like,
nothing good is happening at night.
No, nothing is good. So being a mom, so like, how many kids do you have?
I have 3 daughters. I have a 12-year-old, nearly 13, 7th grader. I have a 11-year-old, 6th grader, and a nearly 8-year-old, 2nd grader. All girls, and that is it.
Okay, all girls, yeah, because I have all sisters.
Oh.
And 2 brothers. Only 2 brothers, literally. And I have 8 siblings in total. So
yeah.
I know how it is to be raised, like, around, like, just all my sisters, a whole bunch of girls. Now, like, me and my sisters, we have that bond where we're, able to talk to one another.
Well, I like that. Because right now, that's not what's happening in my house.
Yeah. It's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. They're still young, and they're all in different, like, kind of like age brackets of their life. So they may not, have the same things in common yet.
Yeah.
But when they get older, they will.
Okay, that's the prayer.
Now it's advice time. What is your advice for navigating school life or just home life?
I think the best advice I could give anyone for navigating home and school life is to try to see the other person's perspective, right? You already alluded to that we're all people and no one's perfect. And I think sometimes we are so stuck in how we feel and what's going on with us that we don't take a step back and try to think what's going on with the other person. Right. And that leads to a lot of conflict, a lot of emotional upheaval. If we could just step back and say, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I'm acknowledge my feeling, but let me think about how this might have come across to them,
right? What
they might be going through, because we are all trying to live in this space, and we're all dealing with things, and not everyone reacts the way I do or you do, but it's up to you as an individual to try to just be empathetic, have humility, work from a place of understanding. At least try to, and you're not going to like everybody, you're not going to get along with everybody, and that's fine, because you can just leave them alone, but you can also try to see things from their perspective. That's my greatest advice.
Right, and I agree with that, and it's so great to hear you say that, because I know, like, with like the millennial generation, like with my parents, like it's kind of hard for them to see where I'm coming from, because they kind of get lost in themselves, in the simple fact, like, they're working 24/7 and they got to pay the bills, they got to do all that. Even with like children at Strawberry Mansion, like, their parents may be working and stuff like that, so they get less attention, so they come to school and now they're just like fighting, or they're trying to do whatever to get attention, because they don't have that at home. So it's so amazing to hear you say that, and I thank you for clocking that tea with me.
Thank you. This was a good experience.
So great to have you guys. And where can we find you at?
You can find me in the main office, or doing my rounds on the floors, popping in the classrooms, and being in the hallways.
Okay. Cheers to that.
My cup is wrong.
Yeah.
Here's to the tea. With Lee.
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
It was so amazing.